Peter Drucker once said, "What gets measured gets managed," and we are all trying to measure our super busy lives. Most people these days have their main business, they've got side businesses and side hustles, you got kids, you got sports to go to, there's so much going on, and yet you're still called to be as healthy as you possibly can be. I know for me, in just the absolute craziness of life, the thing that gets put on the back burner is my physical health. Whether that's physical exercise, sleep, or eating right, all of that stuff just kind of gets pushed to the wayside because there's so much to do. When I'm looking at my physical health, the way that I'm living my life in a healthy way, I need to make things as efficient as possible. And that's where this comes in, the Ultrahuman Ring Air. Now, quick disclaimer, they are not paying me for this review and they're not getting to see this video first, so I'm gonna talk about the pros and the cons to help you make a great buying decision. Now, the first thing is this. I've used Apple Watches, I've used Whoop bands, and this Ultrahuman Ring has been the easiest ring to kind of adapt into my regular everyday life. For me, the hardest thing with my physical health is actually getting good sleep. I probably sleep anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a night, which is not great, and the Ultrahuman Ring has been set up in a way where it helps remind me of doing healthy things, like stopping caffeine consumption kind of mid-afternoon. It helps me to remind me that my bedtime's coming up and that I should stop watching screens, and all that stuff is helpful. You can't ignore it, like that's the thing. With any of these things for health tracking and all that, you can ignore whatever you want, but if you're gonna take it seriously, those are great steps to help you improve your life. And so the Ultrahuman Ring Air does a great job of tracking my sleep throughout a night, and it's not bulky like an Apple Watch is, it's just a little thing on your hand. And when you're sleeping, you don't notice it at all. And so that's kind of great because there's been times where I've had my Apple Watch on while trying to sleep and it just kind of bumps into stuff, gets caught on the covers and all that. That doesn't happen with this ring. The other thing it helps me with is tracking my heart rate over a long period of time. Now I have really good blood pressure, but my heart rate isn't all that great. And so my VO2 max is terrible, all that kind of stuff. But I've started running and I can see slowly over time that chart start to go in a downward direction where my resting heart rate actually goes down. And so it doesn't really change anything, but like I said, if I manage that, if I'm looking at that, that's a really encouraging number to keep me running. I'm doing the couch to 5K thing. It's pretty helpful for somebody like me I've only ever done like powerlifting and all that. And so for me, kind of trying to get my heart in shape, this has been really helpful to track that information over time. Another cool thing is it tracks your skin temperature, and so you can tell if you're getting sick before you even feel sick. For me, it's just kind of a fun little thing to track and see how your skin temperature is doing. But you can see how things like alcohol or something like that changes your skin temperature, which changes your sleep patterns. It's all connected, and so this ring is really helpful to help you kind of have a holistic look at your health. It also helps you with breath work, which is really helpful when you're trying to control your stress levels. Apple Watch does it, this Ultrahuman Ring does it. It's just kind of a helpful thing to have enough oxygen in your body and slow down a little bit. We're also, fast in our minds, and we've got so much information that's always bombarding us. Having something that helps you deliberately and intentionally slow down is pretty sweet. And I want to just talk about the look of this ring. That's the thing I probably love the most, which is silly, but it is true, man. It is such a minimal looking ring. I got the matte black. Now they did just come out with a titanium finish one, and that looks really sweet. I didn't get that one. I got the matte black. If I were gonna get it, I'd probably go for that titanium one. But the matte black one looks awesome. It looks minimal. I'm not the kind of guy that wears a ton of rings on my hand, but the fact that this one is so kind of minimalistic, it looks really modern with its clean lines and all that, it really does just kind of fit in with my look. I guess my look is like millennial dad. Not very cool. Next, let's talk about battery life. It does come with a charger that you plug in with USB-C. It charges overnight. The cool thing is I've only had to charge this about once every 4 days, and it charges really fast. And so I'll put it on, I'll get home with the kids from school, I'll put it on a charger. By the time I go to sleep that night, because sleep tracking is the most important for me, by the time I go to sleep, it's fully charged again. And then I don't even have to think about it for another 4 days. It warns you when the watch gets at like 30, 20%, all that kind of stuff. But the battery life on this is just so impeccable that I haven't even really cared that much because it charges fast and it doesn't die fast. That's amazing. So really quickly, let's talk about pretty much the only con that I have with this ring, and it's the fact that the edges on the side are not rounded. Now I know that that's kind of an aesthetic look, and it might be kind of a battery thing too, but I've noticed sometimes kind of getting it caught on some stuff, and I just kind of worry that over time that might mess the ring up. But if that's like my only complaint about this thing, it is a really, really great product. When you order it, you do get to pick which finger it's on. They say they recommend the pointer finger. That's gotta have something to do with a vein running through your hand. But really, my overall thoughts on this thing is like, gosh, it is just such a great ring to track your health, track your sleep, track your heart rate, do workouts with it. It's awesome. It looks minimal and clean, and if you're somebody who doesn't like to wear a smartwatch, you like to wear kind of a more classy watch, this is the perfect thing because then you can still track all your health metrics. So if you believe that to be true, that what gets managed gets measured, and you want to measure your health to live the longest possible life that you can, I highly recommend the Ultrahuman Air Ring. It is such a sweet ring. There's a link in the description below where you can pick it up. Like I said, they're not paying me for this. This is my honest review of it, and I do recommend it. So go ahead and pick that up. Like this video if you found it helpful. Sub to the channel. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. We're on our way. I'll see you all in the next one.